More to Marketing. Welcome to More to Marketing, a podcast on marketing, product, and everything in between. I'm your host, Susan, and today we're going to be talking about marketing in the metaverse and some key things that everyone should really get to know about now to get excited for the future. So firstly, I am absolutely enthralled about what's happening with metaverse. I'm finding it a really interesting topic to be able to explore into, and also what the future it means for marketing and products as well and everything between. But today we're just going to focus on marketing. Now, the first question is always, what is the metaverse? How is it different to the web? Either 1, 2, or 3, whichever one that you're aware of. Now, the web is simply a 2D area that you can touch, that you can go to, get information from, connect with people. But think of it as 2D, where computers connect to other computers, but it really is more about information sharing. Whereas the metaverse, think of it as 3D, where you can actually go into an immersive environment and feel more connected. Now, the metaverse is being tagged as the future of being able to have a real virtual reality. Think of the show Ready Player One. If you haven't already seen that movie, definitely go check it out. It's where lots of people live behind their augmented reality pieces. So either your goggles, and then you also your gloves and your body suits and things like that. And you actually are a part of a game, and you're all chasing each other around. And some people are even on treadmills and things like that to simulate their movement within that virtual world. But when we think metaverse, it's going to be more literally what we're doing today in everyday life, but in digital. So it means that you can sit on your couch and use your avatar and walk around shopping centers or be in meetings or be working, whatever it might be, and do that in a virtual landscape. So it's Sims on steroids. Now, the interesting thing about metaverse is there's a whole pile of opportunities, as you can imagine, for marketing. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, metaverse, some elements of it already exist, particularly if you think about the gaming environments like Minecraft, World of Warcraft, all of those ones are already using elements of that immersive reality where you're part of it. Roblox is one of the other ones, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, is another one of those virtual reality games where the players actually interact and go to events, and things are also, some things can actually be purchased as well. But I suppose the key characteristics of metaverse is its user-generated content, fully functional and also self-contained. You've got the virtual and also the individual identities and agencies, all agencies. Use of human interface technologies, and that's where you're really getting immersed. It's an open and shared world that is also decentralized, and it's fully functioning economy. So you can actually use things like cryptocurrencies, NFTs, all those kind of blockchain built technologies to make the purchases of items. And this is where marketing is going to be evolving, because naturally, if people are purchasing, there's marketing. We know that from the ancient podcast I did a while ago. And the 4 key fours are still relevant. And that's your price, product, promotion, and place. So the place is now going to be new, but the rest are all still relevant. Now, when we talk about the evolution of the web, so you had Web 1, that was really where the goal of marketing was just to have a website. It was where you went and got your contact info. Think of the yellow pages as your Web 1. Web 2 started connecting people and getting some search history happening as well to make the user experience more personalized. So that there was a little bit of predicting and algorithms and things like that from your big places like your Googles and your Bing. But then now I've got Web 3 coming, which is going to be that more immersive experience, but it's not metaverse. It's been estimated at the moment about 400 million unique and active users access a metaverse platform monthly. Now, this means that there's a huge amount of people out there already interested. However, a lot of them are Gen Z and millennials because of those gaming platforms. So thinking of Minecraft, your Fortnite, etc. So you got to think about, if you're going to get into Metaverse, when does it make sense against when you're doing traditional marketing? And a lot of it comes down to what the brand is, and also the different touch points you want to go through with those customers or potential customers. Now, you need to create your own representation within that world. And it's not just videos, ads, words, and images. You can do more. You can be unique. You can actually have an immersive experience. I love the examples of where people are actually using their avatar and trying on clothes to see if it's the right fit for you because your avatar has been made correctly. I think that's magical use. That also helps as well for marketing. Now, people can use the metaverse at home to view all these different products in 3D and in true scale in their home. So another great example of marketing and product working together is IKEA. So IKEA's place is a place where you can view furniture inside a room. You actually can go in there and see sizes, how it will fit against other products, what works best. But again, it's a home environment that is virtual. Really, when it comes to the metaverse, there's a whole pile of things you can do. So don't think boundaries. One of someone I know is actually wanting to build something where you can actually walk through your house that you're about to build, which would be amazing if that comes to life. The metaverse is new though. So it's one of those things where you have to be careful about when you do walk in, because you want to stand out for the right things. So you do have a lot of the traditional advertising opportunities within metaverse. So think about your ad placements, billboards, all those kind of things will still exist. And there are ways that you can test how it will work. Another one that does it quite a lot is they actually, as part of the music, they'll then have little bits of ads here and there that will appear. Other companies are using the metaverse to actually do really clever things with products. So you've got the likes of Nike and Gucci who are actually releasing exclusive and digital pairs of sneakers that you can only get. So Nike has been doing theirs for a while now, and they've actually collabed and actually purchased a company to do it on their behalf. And then you've got Gucci Virtual 25, and that was back in March 2021. So time's already flying, and this has been out for a while. For Gucci itself, they've actually gone and done a next level, and they've decided to do the Gucci Garden in Roblox, and that is where you can actually have the virtual experience of simulation within the Gucci Garden archetypes in Florence, Italy. And you can walk around, you can meet other players, as they're called, and purchase pieces there too while you're mingling and talking with like-minded. So this is a fantastic use of not only a virtual place, but creating something that anyone who has access to this type of technology can get to. I don't know about you, but I don't think anyone can just jump on a plane in 5 seconds and just go to Florence, where here you can, and you can also engage with one of your favorite brands. There's a lot of ways that this technology is also being used for the marketers behind the scenes. So you can do things like 3D holographics, meetings. You can go explore manufacturing plants and meet the people there as well. Those type of immersive experiences are fantastic. It may cost a bit to set up the technology, but once it's rolled out, that means you can go visit there often without having to jump on planes. One immersive entertainment example is, one of many, I should say. You've got Fortnite. Fortnite does a whole pile of different ones where they have their block parties, where they have all different people come, where you can do scavenger hunts, dancing, interactive games. You've got tokens that come in there too. This is also done at Meta's Horizon Worlds, where they actually do a lot of things with performers, comedians, sports events, unique film experiences. A couple of the big ones that they've done there, where they've been bringing audiences in, was John Legend and also Notorious Big. one of the things that did come out of COVID was the entertainment industry went down. So what were the entertainment industry going to do about that? They started doing virtual events, and that's continued. And that's where these trends have started to come in, where you have thousands upon thousands of people willing to attend. So again, the metaverse, imagine actually having VR on and feeling like you're part of the crowd, bumping into each other, jostling and calling out, and the artist can see you at the same time. They see your avatar there doing and saying whatever it is that you're trying to get their attention for. There are some key tips, though, when you do think about marketing in the metaverse. And again, it comes down to your 4Ps. But knowing that metaverse is still quite predominantly in the young phase, so it is early adopters. At the moment, it is those younger audience too, because of the type of product that's out there for them to use. But the metaverse is always evolving, and there's a whole pile of things that you should be experimenting on there anyway, and test and learn. So there's lots of businesses that do this. But some of the things to think about is when you're putting together your marketing plan and your product plans, what makes sense to put in there that you might want to touch into this new, I call it ecosystem. It's a new way of selling, a new way of getting an audience as well. And that would be things like, what does my audience love doing? Do they love collecting things? And if they do, maybe as part of your marketing strategy, you can have, they can get collectibles or badges or some kind of digital stamp that they can put against their name, similar to the stars on eBay or the blue tick of Twitter. Something that really stands out. It could be something that's even tradable. You could do something tradable as well there, so that people maybe think some of them are more scarce than others, but there might be a value attached to it. And that where blockchain might come in. Also really consider about how you're going to engage with your existing community. Are they there? Do they want to have messages pushed to them? Probably not. They probably want it more natural and organic, like it hopefully has been. And then how can they be part of creating their own user content there? So the videos, the text, the images, the audio, how can you make that naturally occur in this new metaverse? Advertising itself, like as I mentioned, there'll be placements that you can put outside the virtual buildings, or sponsoring big events, wherever it might be. I'm sure they'll still even have sit-down tables in cafes that you can put a message on the table. But how will that work? And then what message would you put there? What product would make sense? Sometimes some of these platforms are very expensive, so you've got to think about, are you going to be part of one that exists? Because there are a few. Or are you going to make your own? Most of the time, it'd be probably better to be part of one or two of them, or if they all join together, the multiverse. But that's something to explore as well, particularly how NFTs may work. Products themselves, try before you buy. So that's a fantastic marketing message as well. Imagine being able to push out there that using VR and AR, that you can actually jump into a car, that you can actually feel what it'll be like to be behind a new, Mazda or a brand new Porsche. How would that feel to be able to sit there and behind the wheel and have a virtual tour on it? Can you collect points for it? Can you get a discount? Can you actually share your feedback and they improve it before they actually roll it out on the production line? If you're about to buy it, do you really like that color? Is it really the right color for you and all these different types of lights? So it's a magical thing to be able to push and say that you can try before you buy, but in a virtual world. And last, again, it's going to be events. The flexibility for events and the cost efficiency alone, enabling the collaboration of multiple different types of artists together that might be all over the world, but streaming down one line. That is powerful. And that's one way to really be able to get to a whole pile of different audience members and really ramp it up so it's so exciting. And this one really, really does excite me. I haven't been to a big one before, but I can imagine it would just be momentous to be part of that. I'd just be a bit worried. I'd be banging into things around the house, to be honest. But with all these good things, there are some challenges you need to consider as well. And that's going to be the newness, and to also make sure you're diving in at the right time. Always good to check regulations as well, just to make sure there's no issues in whatever your product and industry is. Technology is always going to be a problem, and that's more because of maybe high costs, or how to develop it, or how it will actually work with, say, I don't know, a VR headset, for example. And you're not going to be hitting large audiences yet. It might be the limited, small and niche audiences. So it might be something to hold off for a little bit, but it's still got power there for you to build upon and learn. Test and learn is always amazing, particularly when you're getting this 1-to-1 real ratio. You can do some really amazing things with that data behind it if you've set it up correctly. Now, the metaverse is something it's still growing, it's still evolving. No one knows what it's going to end up looking like in the end. But whatever you do with your marketing and advertising, it needs to be as natural and fit in as much as possible to the environment of the metaverse, just like it does today in reality. There's always going to be a concern as well when it comes to security. So think cybersecurity and people's identity, data privacy, and all those kind of things. So it's always important to make sure that on the product side, that's covered off as well. But the marketing in the metaverse, there's so many opportunities, from the basic billboards through to that individual 1-to-1 level. As long as you're looking at your 4 Ps in particular, the product, price, promotion, and place, you can make some magical things happen, and hopefully at a reduced price with a niche audience that's going to be more responsive as well. Hope you've enjoyed this podcast on the very beginning stages of Metaverse. I'm sure I'm going to do more podcasts in the future on this topic, but don't forget to follow to hear some more podcasts in the future.
More to marketing.